Excuse me if I seem a little pissed off today. I just came out of Madrid Siege where one of my teammates uh, basically just allowed a guy to walk right into the objective, like an enemy walk right into the objective. He just being an absolute useless cunt. But anyway, I was playing Siege because I read the skins book because it turns out that there are skins books. Uh, it's good. I think it does explain some of the stuff that in the gap between season 3 and 4 because I didn't notice it, but I think there were some things that suddenly changed between those two seasons. Um, yeah, that's all I really have to say about the book. It is good. This Twitter as of 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday the 3rd of June 2022. $40 billion in US aid to Ukraine. Pretty insane, huh? Edward, if your diet and sleep ain't right, it don't matter who's president. Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm gonna guess because of the Frontiers gameplay that IGN put out. Because IGN is a gaming related company who are filled with non-gamers. Anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse says that he is alive today because he was able to protect himself. Yes, good on you, Kyle. Should be reminded that disgraced left-wing legal group ACLU wrote the draft defamatory Washington Post essay for Amber Heard that was at the center of the lawsuits. ACLU wanted Heard to be an ambassador for the group because her fake expertise on domestic abuse. I hope I don't get copyrighted for the bit of friends that you could see at the bottom there. Like, really shouldn't be enough. Yeah, I heard about this last night. Lynda Carter, who played Wonder Woman in the 70s, has said, because it's Pride Month, that Wonder Woman is a queer and trans icon. Now, women icon I get, but how is she a queer and trans icon? I've never seen the original Wonder Woman, the one with her, but I've seen the movie and any other movies that Gal Gadot plays Wonder Woman in. I've read Earth 1 and a couple volumes of New 52. So, I've read Volume 1 of Earth 1, which was crap. That was total feminist, nonsensical BS that had basically nothing to do with being an adventure comic, which is what Wonder Woman should be. Instead, it was basically just like, don't go outside of the island. I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna call it Paradise from now. Because the feminists would call it Paradise. But yeah, don't leave Paradise because there's men and men are evil, which I think all iterations of Wonder Woman that does. That's what the Amazonians are like, so that's fine, I guess. But then Wonder Woman does leave, and she meets this fat girl. I've talked about all this in my review for the comic, but she brings the fat girl back to Paradise, and all of the Amazonians have never seen a fat person ever, and they say, "Oh, the man made you fat." No, they didn't make her fat. She just really likes food and kept eating it, and she got fat. The man didn't force her to be fat. And why would the man force her to be fat? Because, like, to me, the whole point of the comic is that men are all rapists. But unless the man that made this woman fat are into fat women, that's a contradictory, you know. But I'm getting off track. My point is that from everything Wonder Woman related that I've seen, she is not a queer or trans icon. So Linda has said that she didn't write the show, but if you want to argue that she is somehow not a queer or trans icon, then you're not paying attention. Every time someone comes up to me and says that Wonder Woman helped them while they were closeted, it reminds me how special the role is. Because of all the closeted trans people in the 70s turned on to Wonder Woman on whatever channel it played and saw Linda Carter, a cis woman, playing a woman. They thought, yeah, let's do this, and they came out as trans in the 70s when there were basically no trans people. Like, I guess just talking about people now, but I mean, how many people now watch the show? How many? I don't want to say young because I would consider like all the way up to your 60s young, and Linda is 71 now. But she was in her 20s doing Wonder Woman. Just how many young people, as in teenagers and 20-year-olds, have seen the Linda Carter Wonder Woman? I haven't. I was going to because it's related to the Arrowverse because of Crisis or something like that. It's either Crisis or the fact that she's in Supergirl as a different character. But I just couldn't get access to it. I'm not a fan of pre-21st century television, other than some comedies and Oz and House of Cards UK. But I'm getting way off track. So I've commented why I don't expect to get a reply because, I mean, it's Linda Carter. She's not gonna reply to a life like me. I'm not trying to insult her or insult myself. I'm just saying she's far too busy. But I just want to know. Hopefully I don't get called a transphobe or anything like that. Pfizer trending in politics. I haven't heard anything about Pfizer since it came out that the vaccine does absolutely nothing to your body. So let's see what's happening now. 12% efficiency rate. That's pretty bad. Global News confirmed that it did not publish a story. It is also inaccurate at the time. Pfizer's clinical trial found the corona vaccine is only... Come on, man, it's 2022. Call corona for Christ's sake. Only 12% effective. In fact, the shot is 95% effective. What about when Pfizer openly admitted that it did nothing? We should repeal the liability shield that often protects gun manufacturers from being sued for the death and destruction caused by their weapons, President Biden says. Imagine if the tobacco industry had been immune from being sued. Where would we be today? We should absolutely remove the liability shield of these monstrous companies responsible for killing kids. Companies like Pfizer. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting our priorities straight. That look at the not only is it a pride flag, I've never seen a company do pride, BLM, and trans. Never seen that before. But I'm just Pfizer somehow don't realize that currently they are the enemy. I mean, they always have been, but now it's just more. Even the vaccine lunatics have come around after Pfizer openly admitted that the vaccine does nothing. Right, this isn't a conspiracy theory that I'm spouting out. It does piss all, and the company makes the vaccine has admitted this. But we better save ourselves. Click, put the pride flag on. CEO of Pfizer, the head of CIA, the director of the NSC, the VP of Facebook, the King of Holland, and the Secretary General of NATO are all secretly meeting right now behind closed doors in DC. It's called Bilderberg, and not a single major media outlet has reported on it. Paul, you haven't reported on Bilderberg in years. Like, I'm talking like 8 years at least. And 2, the media never reported on it and never will. My husband and I don't hide anything from each other to keep a happy marriage. Really, I couldn't tell. Oh, well, look at this joke. Boris. As if hashtag Boo for Boris wasn't trending already 2 years ago. Let's see, Prime Minister Boris, arriving with 5 carriers at St. Paul's Cathedral for Platinum Thanksgiving service, is booed by some in the crowd. Wow, okay.
Didn't see that coming.
I'm hearing a bit of booing, but it sounds more like whistling and cheering than booing. And this is all because of Partygate. Like, Boris. Same thing went for Theresa May. Both of them started off well, and people on the right wing like them. People on the left wing always hate them because the left wing hates everyone. Excuse me. I have no idea what sign my throat made there, but whatever. They did some good stuff, but then both of them turned evil at around the same time into their prime ministry, if that's a word or words, and they both did a bunch of bad stuff. But people only started to really want to kick out Boris until Partygate, despite the fact he's done a hell of a lot worse that he should be kicked out for. I was hoping for this video to be on under 15 minutes, but I don't think it's going to be because the Marcus tweets. Because I had a theory as soon as yesterday's video went out that maybe I can't upload long videos from my phone to Instagram. Hopefully I can do it with my tablet. So I was going to use this video as a test, but I won't have enough time. I think I've already read these 2, but just in case it does, I already sent the example of people harmed for being different. This started with hate speech. Sophia Lancaster, Dr. Gary Jenkins have personally experienced escalating hate speech. The NNN assault crap living like this, mate. Crap, something has to give. Okay, for 6th time now. Does that mean that any speech that could lead to this behaviour should be banned, and should it be banned equally for all groups? Anytime you're replying now, I'm just going to ask you this until I get an answer. Now, Pride Month, being straight is now illegal. All straight citizens must report their nearest enforcement officer for a right good gang. He is only half joking. It's amazing how unaware people are. Joe Rogan just said, I'm so liberal, like I talk about it all the time, like I'm not a conservative. Based on what? All he's done for the last 2 years is extreme right-wing propaganda. Based on what? What right-wing propaganda does he spew out? Oh, he was spreading misinformation about the vaccines and whatever he took. Horse piss, apparently it was, but... Right. I did not mean to like and retweet Shank's tweet. That is disgusting. I'm about to throw up. Right, Shank, you retard. Joe Rogan is a liberal. Because if he was a conservative, he wouldn't be pro legalization of weed. Like, you need to get this through your... In fact, you're more of a conservative than he is, because you refuse to budge on any issue. The only time that you have ever corrected yourself is when you thought that some right-wing politician said that black people aren't people, when in fact she said that, well, by black, like, there was a riot going on, and this politician was saying that the rioters weren't peaceful, but because she's from the south, Shank mistook her for saying that they aren't people. Anyway, but in his mind, he's still a compassionate liberal. I can't name a single thing Rogan was in the news for in the last 2 years that was a left-wing position. Because when he makes a left-wing statement, people don't care. But when he makes a right-wing one, all of a sudden, we need to deplatform him because he's spreading misinformation. Anyway, he still promotes lunatic right-winger Alex Jones, and in his mind he's on the left. Hilarious and ridiculous. It's because he's a typical liberal like you would get in the 90s. All of you just changed what liberal was. That's not on him, that's on you. Excerpt 2 from episode 68 of Common Nation. Hate speech isn't about the intent, it's about the feels. What could go wrong? Ask Marcus for interview. My answer would be yes. Culture's enormous change as society develops. If words become recognized by existing or new group as degrading, debasing, or inciting hatred to them, then I would say yes, each group would identify these, I would guess, organically. I am quite pro-free speech, far more so than Harry Miller, for example, will ever be. So, you're pro-free speech, but want any and all criticism and mean words banned towards any group. That's a furthest thing from free speech. Congratulations, you just created the plot from We Happy View. That's the game, that game about the totalitarian society. I tried playing that game, couldn't really get into it. Despite, but I like Bioshock and all. And since you've agreed the groups should be able to outlaw speech that causes violence, guests in me and my house have been attacked because people were calling me a Nazi. Let me move to my chair. Also because it's warm, I have the fan out, but I think I caught a cold, so I'm not going to turn it on. I just move my headset. So, should these people be in jail then? What about people calling conservatives Tory scum and subhuman? I've never heard people calling Tories Tory scum, but I've heard that. I haven't heard people calling them subhuman, but I'll take your word for it, Marcus. Because you're a trustworthy person, whereas people like Cenk Uygur aren't. Because they're always making mistakes and never correcting themselves, bar that one time. Which led to a Tory MP being murdered. That would be, I'll be banned. Then, since you say groups can themselves state what terms guessing should be banned. You didn't think it's free at all, did you? What do you think about the phrase ACAB? I don't really care about it. People should be free to say it. Any and all who said that. Right here in the question you answered. That's not asking any and all. You're desperate now. Really, he's desperate. As if you haven't been desperate this entire time. You're desperate for trying to weasel out over two statements that mean the exact same thing. Look, just admit that your idea was horrendous, or at least just be honest and admit that you just want trans people to be granted extreme privilege. Nope, not true. Well then prove him wrong, for God's sake. Targeting a trans person with misgender or dead naming is way, way beyond mean or bad. Extreme privilege, please. What's dead naming mean? Let me look this up. If my iPad could load. I've got a definition. Act of referring to a trans person's birth name instead of their chosen name. Yeah, I thought so. At Pepper C 850594661 tweets out at all caps MR_SBDH. Thank you for I can't say anything today. Thank you for providing a simple definition of what the term dead naming means. Yeah, we already covered that. Stop the verting. And yes, wanting to send people to jail for saying horrible things about you and violating human rights is extreme privilege that was enjoyed by kings and queens of the past. You're actually kind of a fascist. An example, if you did name a misgender or trans person to harass or degrade them, yeah, I don't think that is acceptable free speech and I'll have a problem with it. But what if it's unintentional? Or what if it's for a different intention other than harassing or degrading them? Like, I call trans people by their birth name and their birth pronouns and just treat them like what they were born as, because that's what they are. Example, I call Ellen Page Ellen Page. Despite the fact that she transitioned around a year and a half ago. And I'm mostly pissed off at her because when she transitioned, she was asked how this would affect her character in the Umbrella Academy, and she said it won't. But now all of a sudden her character is becoming trans as well. Which, while the comic is already extremely inaccurate, or sorry, extremely inaccurate the comic. This is another inaccuracy that I just don't like inaccuracies. So let me just take the stand off my tablet. Okay. I think acceptable free speech, and I'll have a problem with it. If you think acceptable free speech, so you're not pro free speech then? If you think that's privilege like the omnipotence of divine right, you're not the thinker I thought you were. An example, if you advocate for taking away a person's fundamental basic human rights and want to throw them in jail just for offending people, yeah, I don't think that's acceptable free speech. Now what? Any and all who said that, details, mate. I did want to ask you the question several times and you said yes, or should this privilege not be given to all groups then, so you aren't in favour of equal treatment? Rubbish. Rubbish. Any and all is a totally different thing. Totally. How is any and all different to for all groups? Any and all groups. Why do you keep missing that very important part out? If you think what I'm saying is BS, then that's a self-dunk, since what I said is literally the system you're advocating for. One tweet at a time, for God's sake. I'm on an old iPhone and I can't tell the order of these tweets. Jeez. Don't learn how to use Twitter. My replies are all part of a single thread. Are they, Marcus? Really? You reply multiple times the same tweet, which creates a new thread every time you do it. That's like day one Twitter usage. How do you not know that? Maybe I'm fake, but I do know that it's between all groups and any and all speech. He's not talking about any and all speech. He's talking about any and all groups. You don't. Oh, you don't. What? There's the difference between all groups and any and all groups. Fascinating. Can you explain the difference? Since he's talking about specifically trans people, then maybe that's the difference. But I'm not an expert. I'm not gay. And I don't mean that in the homophobic sense. Your examples are tragic. Your stubbornness and unwillingness to back down from an argument that you have lost multiple times is tragic. Then you no doubt will be able to refute them, though I think if you could, you would have done so instead of replying with this non-argument. But yeah, I forgot to mention that Johnny won. Congrats, man. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't even notice that he put that. Alright. Me too? No, you. All groups is not any and all speech. He's not talking about any and all speech, he's talking about any and all groups. You're changing the argument. You used to say that any and all is not all group. Any and all is not all speech. Now you're saying all groups not any and all speech. You swapped it around because he disproved you. Wake up, you schizophrenic bastard. Schizophrenic isn't the right word, but whatever. Why did you miss out the group's word in the second statement? Are you really about to argue over two statements? I mean, the exact same thing. No, you're wrong. Oh, wow, that proved them. Then explain why I'm wrong. These two statements mean the exact same thing. This is where you prove they don't. Already did, but you views are set in stone. I feel free to test your views on free speech. I still feel shocked. You gleefully assist the biggest moral panic this country has ever seen. You of all people. Really? Transphobia is the biggest moral panic the country has ever seen? Sure. No, you didn't in any way whatsoever. If you did, then link the tweet where you did. You feel shocked that the free speech advocate is advocating for free speech. My god, stop sucking his cock. This is embarrassing. 1. Posting 2 photos of Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp won is not sucking his cock. And 2, if it was, then everyone is sucking Johnny Depp's cock. L plus ratio plus bitch plus 15 million plus no inches. You've been playing too much Elden Ring, man. An example, if you did name a misgendered trans person, I've already said that. That still doesn't warrant legal punishment. It does. 1. It doesn't. It should be completely fine to say whatever transphobic things you want in public like that. Now, harassment, whether it be against a trans person, a cis person, anything like that, fine. But if I were to... I'm obviously never going to be anywhere near Ellen Page unless she starts filming something in Belfast. So any harassment I send towards her would be online and would most likely be indirect, as in posting a video but not tagging her or anything like that. Right? You're saying that I should be arrested because I tweeted Ellen Page. What about people who tweeted Ellen Page before Ellen became Elliot? Explain that. Although then again, Ellen did request that every single thing that she has ever starred in changes her name in the credits to Elliot. And we had to study Juno in year 12 film studies, and the teacher didn't know that she had become trans, so I, just in case that the examiner knew, I wrote down Elliot every single time, and like luckily Sir saw it after a couple times and then realised, but he's been calling her Elliot this entire time. Looks it up and then realises, crap, she's trans. And it went fine. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, it's irrelevant. Oh, screw you, Ellen. You made, like, I might have been kicked out of an exam for misgendering you. Bitch. The only reason why I know you're trans is because I followed the Lad Bible at the time. And this is more irrelevant complaining, but they had, when I initially saw it, because I went to the bank, I think, when I looked at it. So on like the car ride up, looking at Lad Bible, breaking news, Ellen Page is transgender, changed his name to Elliot. Then went in the bank, once it came out, went back in, and either I read it wrong the first time, or they changed it so that it said, breaking news, Elliot Page, transgender, now Elliot. And I was watching The Umbrella Academy the same day. That's the only reason why I know what happened. This actually gives me the perfect excuse to talk about this.
Elliot Page's character in Umbrella Academy is being rewritten to be transgender, and that's causing a lot of debate with fans. And that's because since 2019, he's played the character of Vanya Hargreaves in the show Umbrella Academy, which was by far his biggest project in over 10 years since his hit movie Juno. Things were put into question heavily when Elliot...
Whoa. Inception was bigger than Juno, and while she didn't have as big a role in that movie, in fact, it was very forgettable, except for like a scene or two. That movie was way bigger than Juno.
He came out as transgender in December of 2020. He asked for all previous projects to be recredited from Ellen Page to Elliot Page. But when asked about the show Umbrella Academy, Elliot Page responded by saying he'd still be playing the same character and this wouldn't impact his role in the show. But Elliot Page recently revealed the character will be renamed to Victor and will be transgender in the show, which has upset a lot of fans of the series, not because of transphobia, because they said it was a disservice to the character of Vanya. Where other fans are happy saying
It's not transphobia. Right? This character was built up for 2 seasons, with like 16 episodes, I think. Or maybe 20, I don't remember. However many episodes, and they're about 50 minutes to an hour each. Building up this character for a long time. We've known her for 3 years at this point, or for the comic readers, 13 years, I think. And all of a sudden, they've changed it like that for no reason. Wasn't there another show that built up a character and then switched them into the exact opposite? It didn't work out. Oh yeah, Skins. I will talk about that in my FR for Skins.
this is a win for the transgender movement.
Why? Like, Umbrella Academy is quite a popular show, but I don't think that it's the kind of show that trans people or just LGBT people would watch at all, because it does seem like it would make fun of gay people, because it is known for being quite condescending. Just look at I think it was Dallas issue 4. The front cover of it is the other woman, I don't remember her name, I'm sorry. At the time, she lost her voice, so she was running around with a notepad and a pen, just writing down what she was trying to say. And the front cover for issue 4 of Dallas was this is the 4th issue, and like the label or publisher Panic was like, no, you're being too condescending to the audience, and Gerard Way, the creator, said, no, like the audience will get it. But you triggered leftist snowflakes aren't like that. You'll be triggered. Anyway.
This will be one of the biggest depictions of a transgender character on TV. It'll surpass Laverne Cox.
Oh yeah, really? Is that so? Where else is there? Oh yeah, Nia Nal from Supergirl, played by Nick Means. And even though Umbrella Academy is much bigger than Supergirl, Supergirl is a superhero show, and that is, if a superhero by default, it's going to be successful. And while Umbrella Academy is technically a superhero show, it's not based off of a DC or Marvel comic.
The current record holder for the show Orange is the New Black, which she was on for many seasons. And this is a positive change where for years transgender and transvestite characters were seen as jokes on TV. And while this could be tough, Umbrella Academy's creator Gerard Way thinks they have a good way to write a story. So while this is a big change, good luck to Elliot Page.
No, not good luck to Elliot Page / Ellen Page. Good luck to the writers trying to find a way to do this successfully. I don't mean without pissing off the fans. What I mean is making a way for the work. Because I'm still waiting for an explanation as how to Nia from Supergirl has powers that only women have. Jesus Christ, will you just admit you want it to be illegal to say bad things to you while you can say horrible crap to anyone else just because you want massive privilege so we can all move on? Like Harry Miller openly trying to get someone's side for using their free speech. Hypocrisy smells bad this side of the right. Is my name Harry Miller? Amber Heard ain't got a screw, bro. She needs the money. I've got the widest smirk right now from that tweet. I'm also about to sneeze. and my nose is blocked. I shaved, but I didn't use any shaving cream on the mustache, so now it's burning. Amber Heard verdict sends a message to black women. What? Yeah, don't lie. Is it really a lie if they believe it? Hey, Lord Miles, still alive. Good on you. I do not recognize Pride Day. My squad will back me up.
To vote in women politicians. So would you believe in the democratic vote, though? So would people be allowed to vote in women politicians? So would...
I wonder why they're laughing. Maybe it's that they don't believe that women should have rights and that, you know, she has to wear that burqa because the men don't like it when women don't wear burqas. Does that seem like wearing burqas is a choice? Does it seem like it's a brave thing to wear a burqa? Happy Pride, everyone. Listen here, you little crap. My dragon tonight, but just in case anyone spots me, I just want to make it clear that it's not for the Jubilee. There's always that one prick. Oh no, he brought red wine, which is actually good for your heart. Establish Libertarian Society. Build medical grade lab. Make insulin. Sell globally at cost. Pharma companies crap out on Twitter. Retweet them with pictures of my balls. Laugh. I'm sorry, the FDA cannot approve your product at this time. I missed the part where that's my problem. No, please stop giving people insulin. We need to make money off it. He writes ugly socks on a shop that doesn't even sell socks. Free. As in the phone shop. Come on, Elon. Stop scrolling. Pride Month checkpoint. This is the Homo Soon post. Your last saved meme to prove you're gay. All cisgender heterosexuals will be shot. Twitter tried to silence an LGBT, bi, neurodivergent, ADHD, disabled, liberal, POC, Italian woman, bad luck. I don't like Sean Head, but that was funny. It's just a shame that she's far too close to Fosh. The only reason why she isn't closer is because his belly's too big. Tens of thousands of chickens. Christ, I thought that said civilians for some reason. Then I thought it was children, but chickens. Killed in mega egg farm fire in Minnesota. 3 million eggs a day produced for supermarkets across the USA. I thought it was supposed to say 3 million eggs died. 3 million chickens. Must smell great though. No, I think it might have smelled like fire, Marcus.